Okay. Just gonna start off here. How we doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. Just before we get started, I'm gonna ask you a few questions, if that's all right with you, okay?
Yeah.
If you could you just please verify your name and date of birth?
Maddie Gabbert, 9/30/98.
Well, it's a pleasure to see you back again, Miss
Yes.
Gabbert. This is about our 7th visit. How do you feel about the treatment so far? Do you feel like your back pain's getting a little bit better?
It's a little better. I still just like at night especially, or like just when I do a lot of activity, when I'm sitting at my desk at work, I still have a lot of pain.
Kind of flares up?
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as some of the treatments that we've been doing before, I know we've done E-stim a little bit. Do you mind if we do that again?
Yeah, that worked really well. I like that.
Okay, cool. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be taking a different route. Instead of strengthening those muscles in the back, we're going to focus on pain control so that we can really try to alleviate that pain in your lower back. And in fact, speaking of pain, if you had to rate that pain on a scale from 0 to 10, with 0 being no pain at all to 10 being extremely painful, where would you say you fall on that?
Maybe like a 5 today. Not great, but not horrible.
Okay. Well, we're going to try to get that lower because, one of the short-term goals that we had was to lower that to about a 3 out of 10. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and another short-term goal that we had was to be able to do full range of motion in every direction. So in this case being flexion, extension, side bending, and so on and so forth. And then that long-term goal that we talked about at the very beginning was to manage your fibromyalgia while you're sitting, because that's what you do at the office most of the time.
Right.
Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're just going to teach you some techniques to try to hopefully manage some of the symptoms of fibromyalgia. But just to go over the treatment today, what we're doing, we're going to be doing some manual muscle testing, and that's specifically going to be testing your back muscles when you do lumbar extension. Do you know what a Superman is?
Like this, where you're on your belly?
Yeah. So we're going to be doing that, and I'm going to be applying some resistance just to see kind of where we fall on that. See if we need to strengthen that a little bit more, or if we can just move on to something else. We're also going to be testing your range of motion, like I said earlier, trying to get it so that you can be able to bend forward, go backwards, side to side. So we're just going to measure that. And then another test that I want to do today is a SLR test, which is a straight leg raise test. And I just want to make sure to rule out the possibility that it could be a disc herniation or any type of prolapse in your disc. Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just back, like I said, we've done the E-stim before, but this time we're going to be focusing on pain control. Just before we get started on that one, I just want to ask you a few questions to make sure that it is safe to move forward with that. So I've already talked about your mental status. You're very cognitive. We talked about it. You verified your name and date of birth. You don't happen to have any wounds that are open, do you?
No.
No? How about any metal or any concrete implants that would be? No?
Not yet.
Okay, perfect. So I guess that's going to be really good to try to relieve some of that pain you have. And lastly, we're going to be doing some patient education. And that's really just to really stress the importance of proper body mechanics, because I know you are in the office most of the day. We really want to make sure that we're sitting up straight, not slouching over, that type of thing. Exactly. And I'm glad that you caught that. So I'm just going to send you home with some things that you can do at home. In fact, one of the things that you can do at home we're going to address today in one of our exercises. That being said, is it all right if we go ahead and get started?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So first things first, we're going to be doing lumbar extension. So if you could, can you please just get you on your tummy? All right. So back to like I was saying, those Supermans. What I want you to do is just go ahead and have your hands out in front of you, or to the side, either or, whatever you feel is more comfortable. And I'm going to be applying a little bit of resistance to you just to see how strong those back muscles are. Okay? All righty. So I'm going to go ahead and see if you can do it for me. Just like that, all right. Go ahead and go back down, and now I'm going to be applying some pressure here. Okay? Go ahead and try. Oh, okay. Let's go back down again. We're going to do that one more time and try a little bit more pressure, okay? Go ahead. All right, perfect. Well, you seem pretty strong on your back muscles, which is good. So we'll have you there for a second. Let me just go ahead and write this down. All right, so, there's no really need to continue to strengthen those lower back muscles because, you're pretty strong. So now we're going to test your range of motion or measure your range of motion. So what can I get you to do? I'm going to lower you down and I'm going to have you stand up, okay? Miss Gabbert, what did you have for dinner last night?
Rigatoni.
Rigatoni.
It was so good.
Lovely. What is rigatoni? That sounds delicious. Pasta.
It was like one of those HelloFresh meals. Have you ever had HelloFresh?
I actually have. My wife loves it.
Yes.
Rigatoni. So you recommend?
Yes.
Absolutely.
The
Cool.
Rigatoni HelloFresh.
Cool, so we're just gonna measure that range of motion like I was talking about. So what I'm gonna have you do is, I guess we'll face me so I can tell you what we're doing. So what I want you to do is really focus on bending, but not with your hips, just with the top half of your body.
Okay.
So you're not necessarily folding. What you're doing is you're going forward, but as soon as you start, you see how there's a difference in folding with your hips and keeping your
Yes.
your hips straight.
Yes.
So go ahead and demonstrate that for me, so I know that we're doing it right. Is that as far as you can go without that pain kind of hitting?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So what I want you to do now is face this way, and I'm gonna go ahead and measure. So it's looking like, we're gonna put this guy right here. Can you go ahead and put your hands on your hips for me? Thank you. Alright, so I'll go ahead and do that. I'm gonna be looking in the mirror right there behind us, so just to make sure you're not bending with your hips. So go ahead and go forward. Perfect, keep going until I see you bending with your hips. Lovely, we can go ahead and stop right there. Thank you, Ms. Gabber. Go ahead and stand back up, or you can go ahead and take a seat. Let me just write down what we got. Perfect. So like I said, one of the last tests that we're gonna do today is, or the one other test that I wanna do today is the straight leg raise. So what I want you to do is go ahead and lay on your back for me. And so the importance of this test, like I said earlier, is we wanna try to rule out or figure out if you have any type of disc herniation or prolapse in those discs, so that we can see what would probably be the best way to continue to address the issues that we're having. Okay, so what I wanna have you do is you can go ahead and keep this leg bent, yep. So what I'm gonna do is just bring your leg up, and I'm gonna try to keep your knees straight as possible. If you can, try to bring your toes to your nose.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And as I bring you up, we're gonna keep going until you start to feel that pain, okay? So here we go. Is it alright if I touch you?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Up, up. Tell me when you feel that pain.
Feeling it.
Oh, right there?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna let you rest. I'm gonna test this side as well, okay? So if you could, just go ahead and bend this one up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, you ready for this one? Okay. Keep that knee straight. You let me know when you feel it.
Feeling it.
Okay, okay. We'll bring it back down, nice and easy. So what that means, because you were having that pain and we really didn't get too far up, is that it is a positive test. So that could be one of two things, like I was saying. You could have a disc herniation, which we can figure out later with some x-rays and stuff like that, or you could just have a prolapse in one of those discs. But that's nothing to worry about right now. I know this is your 7th visit and we've tried other things before. So like again, we're gonna try to switch it up today. We're gonna start with some stretching if that's alright with you. So what I want you to do is go ahead and flip to your stomach for me. And once you're on your stomach, I want you to prop yourself up on your elbows. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And what we're gonna be doing is pressing up just a tad until you start to feel that stretch in that lower back region. And we're gonna hold it for 30 seconds, okay?
Okay.
How's that feeling?
Good.
Okay, I'm just gonna have a timer here, just making sure everything's good. If you start to feel uncomfortable or have any pain, just let me know. We'll go ahead and stop. We'll take a rest, okay?
Okay.
So far, so good. We got 15 seconds in. So that ricotta, you said, no, you didn't say ricotta. You said rigatoni.
Yes.
Okay. Is there like cheese on there? What's going on?
Oh, I
there?
hope not. I do not like cheese. It was like, it had like turkey, chicken, meat.
Yeah,
Chicken.
yeah.
And then it had some sauce on it. I don't know. It was really good. Whatever came with the HelloFresh.
Yeah.
Tucker made it, so I don't know. My boyfriend made it, so I don't know.
You got it. Well, that's been the 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and go back down. How'd that feel after that first 30 seconds? Do you feel any
Good.
discomfort and pain?
No, it feels
Okay,
good.
perfect. That's what we're really, really looking for. When you feel like you're ready, we're going to do that for another 30 seconds, okay?
Okay. Ready.
All right, let's go ahead and do that again. Just that slight stretch. We're not really pushing up all the way, but really making sure we're getting that stretch right here. So, Rick, Tony, do you know what you're making tonight?
Maybe we have these firecracker meatballs, but I don't really like spicy, so I'm kind of
Firecracker
nervous.
meatballs.
That sounds spicy, right?
It sounds intimidating, yes.
Spicy. I
Yes.
don't do spicy.
Is it just meatballs? Is it eaten with like noodles? or
I don't
how-
know. I think it may just be the meat. No, I think there's green beans,
Ooh.
and I love green beans.
I am a fan of green beans as well. Well, Miss Gabbard, that is 30 seconds. I keep you talking, and I know you didn't even notice any pain.
I didn't.
Lovely. So now that's good to go. We're gonna move on to prone push-ups. So, yeah, we're actually gonna get you to do. Yeah, we're gonna have you do those because that's part of your home education that I want you to do home. So now that you're in this position, I want you to go ahead and try to press up with your hands. Yes. Now go back down. and then you're gonna go just like that. You're gonna give me about 10 of those 2 times. And if you feel like that's uncomfortable again, I want you to go ahead and stop, because none of this should feel unbearable. All right. So I don't notice anything wrong with your form. Everything looks really good. How's your pain?
Not bad.
Not bad? Do you feel like it's getting better, worse, about the same?
Probably about the same, or
Okay.
maybe a little better.
Okay, perfect. So we'll go ahead and call that the sets. We'll do one more after you get a little bit of break. Go ahead and do that one more time for me. We'll do 1, give me another one, 2, give me another one, and 10. Perfect. Well, Miss Gabbard, that was lovely. And just now we're going to do some extension exercises. Actually, that was our extension exercise. My bad. I just wrote this wrong on the paper. So that press up on those elbows, that's also going to be part of that home education that I was talking about earlier. We'll review some of that stuff when we get to there. So one last thing we're going to do today for our therapeutic exercise are called glute bridges. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
Okay, so what I want you to do is go ahead and flip to your back. And I want you to think there's water underneath your back, and a boat's trying to get through, so you're going to lift your butt up into the air. Absolutely. But what I want you to do is really focus on bringing your belly button to the table. There you go. Now come back up. Now we're going to do that for, we're going to hold that up for 10 seconds, because this is your 7th visit, and I know that you can do these. So we'll call that 10. We're going to do that 3 times. Okay, so we're going to do it for a total of 30 seconds. All right. So I'm just checking your form while you're doing this. Everything looks good. I'm just going to check that you're still engaged in these muscles. We'll go ahead and back down. Now go ahead and back up. Lovely, lovely. Perfect. That's exactly what I want you doing. If you get too good at these, what we're going to do, we're going to switch it up. We're going to maybe hold it for maybe 15 seconds. But for now, 10 seconds is fine. You did everything with perfect form. Everything's looking really good, Miss Gabbard. We can move on to that Easton that we were talking about. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in
Yes,
today?
yes.
Cool. So go ahead and flip to your stomach for me.
I'm excited.
Good. This is something that has worked in the past for other people. I use it on a daily basis because I also have some lower back pain. So I'm just going to get our machine started. Roll this guy right here. All right. Do you mind rolling up your shirt just a little bit so we can get that area exposed? And I'm just going to clean off your skin. I'm just going to inspect, see if there's any open wounds, abnormal, anything blotching of the skin. Everything looks pretty good so far. All right. I'm sorry if that was cold, Miss Gabbard. All right. So I know the last time that we did E-stim, again, it was to really strengthen those muscles. And I mean, as we tested earlier, there's no need for that anymore. Now, these are going to be just a little cold, so mind you that. Here we go. Yeah, see what I mean?
Very cold.
Very cold. It's good. We really want those to stick. That there's these little gel on these pads to really make sure that conductivity of the electrical impulses is good. We're just going to put that guy right there. Let me adjust this one. Perfect. Alrighty, so once I turn this machine on, it's going to be a little bit different from what we've done in the past. I'm going to crank it up until you start to feel a tingling sensation.
Okay.
Because we're not trying to make those muscles contract this time. This time we're just going to go until that tingling sensation starts, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we're going to do this for about 15 minutes, and I'll come check on you, or I'll be with you, I don't have a problem staying with you talking. I want to hear more about your dinner plans. Actually, this sounds lovely. Let me see if I can turn this guy on. There we go. All right, Miss Gabbard, I'm going to go ahead and get this to the settings that I need to. Again, I'm just going to adjust this dial, and you're going to start to feel a tingle. And when that tingle occurs, you're going to let me know, okay? All righty.
Okay, I'm feeling it.
You're feeling it right there?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can go more, or this is pretty good?
You can go a little more.
All right, you let me know when it's just right. How's that?
That's probably good.
Okay. So like I said, we're going to do this for about 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So 15 minutes, I am going to leave you with a call bell. Just before I leave, is there anything that you need to ask me regarding the treatment that we're doing right now? Okay. How does it feel?
Feels good.
Okay. I'm going to get that call bell, and I'm going to go talk with the other PTs about some other patients. I'll be right back, okay? If you have any discomfort or anything that you feel is abnormal, go ahead and ring that bell. We'll come in here. We'll stop it, okay?
Okay.
All right. How are we feeling?
Good.
It's been about 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and stop this guy, okay? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now I'm just going to inspect. Is it alright if I touch?
Mhm.
Okay, we're going to get this guy off. So, everything looks pretty good. There's no excessive redness, no blotching, no mottling of the skin, no burn marks, nothing. So it looks like it did its job, which is what we were aiming for. So now that we've done this, I'm going to ask you those questions that we were talking about earlier today. Okay? So after doing that, do you feel like it helped, made it a little bit worse?
Yeah, I think it helped. It feels a lot better.
Does it? Okay.
Yes.
So if you had to describe that pain that you're feeling, can you go ahead and sit up for me? You kind of had to describe that pain again from 0 to 10, 0 being no pain, 10 being a lot of pain. How do you feel now that we've done
Maybe
that?
like a 3.
A 3. Perfect. I'm glad to hear that it's working for you. This is like, again, worked for a lot of other people in the past. Works for me. That being said, last thing we're going to talk about today is that patient education. So we already talked about the press-ups with your back, or the prone on elbows with the extensions, and then we're going to be talking about wall sits with your TA activation. So what we're going to be doing is, I'll show you. I'll go ahead and demonstrate. So I'm going to be on this wall right here. And back to what I was saying, we really want to make sure that we're tightening our core, so pressing your back into the wall or your belly button to your spine. And we're going to sink down as low as we can without, really pushing ourselves. And we're just going to hold it here. We're going to hold it here for about 10 to 15 seconds, okay? We're going to come back up, and we'll do that 3 times, okay? I don't want to overexert you too much. So after that, we're going to be doing a stretch, and that'll be the home education that I want you to do, okay? So what we're going to do, and you can do this guy with me, is I want you to, in your chair, come to the edge, nice straight back. Let me lower this because it is a little tall for me. Okay, I want you to have your ankle on the opposite. There we go. Back straight, and I want you to press down on that elbow, or on that knee. Do you feel it kind of in that area?
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. So what we're doing is we're stretching that piriformis so that we can address some of that sciatic pain that you might feel when you're sitting at the desk all day. I would do these for 30 seconds. You can break them up 15 seconds, then rest, another 15, but I want you to do these for at least a minute, 3 times a day. And I'll have a handout for you that's gonna have all this information so that if you have any questions, you just, call my number, call the office, and we'll get that taken care of. But as far as that goes, that's gonna be it today. Like I said, everything that you need is gonna be in a handout. It's good to hear that that pain is getting a lot better. Do you have any other questions?
Nope.
Alrighty, Ms. Gabber, I'm gonna go collab with the other PTs, talk about our treatment today, and we'll send you on your way. Alright?
Okay.
I appreciate you coming in today.
Yeah.